This is the Leggett Podcast, episode number 2, with me, Andy Grant.
And myself, Tom Wickstead.
And episode 2 involves us speaking to Tubes of Soccer AM. This was a bit of a random one. Me and Tubes became friends on Twitter a few years ago. One of those kind of social media friends. It's not like I'm off the in-between. And social media friends. An acquaintance who, we just started following each other. And I've always watched Soccer AM from when I was a kid. And then became friends with him on Twitter. And I always knew he had an interesting life. And then, obviously, when the podcast idea came out, he was one of the first people I reached out to. Yeah. And asked if he'd like to be a guest. And I'm certainly glad I did, because I didn't expect the conversation to go as it did.
No. You see, I knew him from Soccer AM, but I never really knew. I remember when we were driving down to Sky Studios, where we did the interview in Isleworth, and I didn't realise he'd had a heart attack and all this, and obviously being a sort of former alcoholic as well. You know, I didn't realise.
Well, he's an alcoholic now, isn't he? It's kind of.
Oh yeah,
ongoing, I guess.
Yeah. I suppose you never lose that title, really, do you?
Mm-hmm.
But it was. I think, again, about an hour and 40 minutes, we sort of talked about various different topics from, I think we even covered social media at one point.
Yeah.
And then obviously his story, which is incredible, being sort of a runner and what he's doing now on Soccer AM as well. So I really do hope you enjoy this episode, because it's a cracking one.
Yeah, really fun, a lot of laughs. And again, that I think there's a lot of aspects to it, which was cool in the sense that, you know, you can go on and do a job you love and excel in it. But you just said then he started off as a runner, doing a bit of, I think it was voluntary work wasn't it? Of a weekend as a runner. And now he ends up one of the kind of main people on it. Yeah. So it's a great story in that sense of what's achievable. But then also what he's went through in his personal life, the battles he's had. And he's just so open and honest. And to hear how he's given back as well, he's helping out people who are in that similar circumstances as himself, was really inspiring. Really great lad, top lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Really great lad.
It was a cracking day for me, because I don't usually get to go down to Soccer AM to go in the green room, you know, and then go sort of like I hate the word backstage, but you know what I mean, backstage.
Yeah. He looked after us really well.
Yeah, no, absolute legend. So this is episode number 2 of the Leggett Podcast, and please hit the subscribe button. Please leave a review when you get a chance, and of course share it with whoever and whenever you want. Does that make sense?
Here is Tubes for episode 3 of the Leggett Podcast. Enjoy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're good to go.
Good to go.
Hi Tubes. First off, thank you so much for giving up your time.
Absolute pleasure, my friend. Absolute pleasure. As soon as you said you want to do it, I was like, yes, I do. Come on down.
The show then, I remember watching Soccer AM forever, and to go to it then, that was cool. Like the buzz from it. You've been here 20 years now, you just said.
Yeah, started when I was 16. I came in work experience, and they said, "Are you on a program called Soccer AM?" And I used to watch it, but no one used to know about Soccer AM. So I was buzzing. I was like, "Oh, brilliant!" That was Tim Lovejoy, obviously Fenners, who's back now. So they said, so I went in there, and basically I never left. I never left. They said, "Do you want to come and help on Saturday?" I was like, "Yeah." So for 4 years, I came and just made teas. You know, just as a runner, worked for free, and here we are now, doing a podcast in the green room.
Yeah, just from a proper fanboy point of view, I was like, when I told Tom we were coming down here, and Fowler was on, obviously massive red myself. I was just more excited, obviously super excited for this, but to actually come and watch it, it was.
How did you find it watching it in the studio?
The studio's not as big. You think it's just
everyone
huge.
Says that.
Yeah. You do think it's massive, but.
And again, it's like organised chaos. Again, like 2 minutes. You've obviously all professionals, been doing it years. It's everyone's so chilled out, and then it's suddenly 30 seconds to air, and everyone's in the place, and it just goes so smoothly.
It's good because it's good to get like the audience involved, because you two were literally sat there, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Chatting to Robbie Fowler, like, "Come on, Robbie, you're on now." It's like, "All right, on." But, all the audience get involved as well, and do you know what? Soccer in the last 2 or 3 seasons has really got back to its best. It was obviously back in the day it was superb, and then for me it dipped a bit. Well, I say a bit, a load. But now it's back. Now I'm really enjoying it.
I was mentioning it to Andy on the way down about when he does his talks. comes off stage, maybe abroad or whatever, goes back to the hotel room. Do you get that same sense of when you've finished a show? Like that strange where, so all that hype has been happening for 2 hours, and then suddenly you're in an empty room, or...
It's strange. It is strange because, like, you've just experienced it, haven't you? Everyone's like rushing around. Robbie Fowler, Jimmy Bullard's going mad. We're kicking balls about, and then it stops, and you're just like that. But when the adrenaline stops, it must happen to you when you do your talks. Yeah. I just get really tired. I do. I'm just like, boom, just hit a wall. Do you know what I mean?
No falling asleep here for next day.
Totally. But no, I love it. It's a really good buzz, and like during the week as well. Like this week, been up to Manchester, did an interview with Jesse Lingard. And then Jose Mourinho, which was on today. I love I'm so lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
Going back from the start then, growing up, did you ever, I've seen you playing football, you're not a bad footballer.
No, I'm all right, no.
Growing up, was that the dream to be a footballer? And then
every boy's dreams to be a footballer, and I was never quick enough or fit enough. And then I found alcohol in my life. I played semi-pro when I was 16, but then I was given an option. It was, pursue that, or come and work here for free every Saturday, because obviously Saturdays 3 o'clock kickoffs. I couldn't get back to, because it's quite a lot of travelling semi-pro, but I was never good enough to make it. Not quick enough, not fit enough, not dedicated enough. And then I found alcohol, but I still play on a Sunday, which I enjoy. So
yeah. So then Soccer AM, then that come as a doing work experience. Started off that.
Yeah, started us off with work experience. Every Saturday I'd come here, do the show. But during the week I'll be in the sport library as a runner. So Sky News, Sports News would go, we need Gerrard's goal versus Everton. So I'd dig that out, then physically take the tape over. Because it used to be on tapes back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But now
Forget
it's all
that
computers.
now, don't you? You just
Used to be big tapes. And so I used to run that down to and from Sports News. And Tim was like, as soon as someone leaves Soccer AM, you'll come over. So I was in the sports library for 2 years. I think I was 3 years, and then I was over in Soccer AM. But I was literally a day away from going to university. I had my bags packed. I was about to go to university, do nothing for 3 years. Good session. But I literally, the night before, Tim Lovejoy phoned me up and said, you're not going to university. I was like, excuse me? In case you're not going to university, you're coming to work at Sky, I've got you a job. I was like, So I phoned up the university, told them they weren't happy. They're like, you can't just pull out of university the night before, do you know what I mean? But no, that's thanks to him, it all happened for me. So, yeah, unbelievable, really.
Did you ever think, if you look back from when you were 16, did you ever think, Jesus Christ, Mourinho, obviously that was way out the league, but did you think to yourself, this might go somewhere, or was it a case of you're just going to stay and just see what happens?
I'm really shy. I'm actually a very shy person.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a really shy person, and I never ever thought I'd be on television. When I used to, do you remember back in the day, I used to do the one question only, and all that. It was live.
We were watching it on the way down.
It used to be live. I used to come out and try and be a rapper badly, but I'd be dry retching. I'd be so nervous.
Really?
Going out. Yeah, honestly. I was all right with the pre-recorded ones.
Yeah.
But it's the live aspects of it.
Good. I was gonna come on to that then. It's, for me, we've just seen you interview Jose Mourinho, and it's still got that. It's still funny, but so professional, so slick. It's how much it changed when you coming on doing the raps and stuff like that. I mean, how did all that even just start? And did you ever think, was it ever pre-planned to kind of make it funny and then eventually go kind of serious the way you are? Or?
None of that was planned. I never planned to be on television, but when I started doing the Soccer AM, that was the beauty of it. We'd have people on television who didn't want to be on television, like sheephead. I remember Topless Weather, a guy from Bolton would stand out there like that, just his top off going, where it was just...
That's when I used to proper love it when I was watching it every Saturday.
It was like nonsense. We have fixtures, man, my good friend Robbie Knox, and he'd be like these. It was like nonsense. So they were like, right, what's your name? I was like, Peter. They went, right, you can be Peter the Test Tube Baby. I was like, what? They went, Rocket's gone on holiday. He's taking the piss. You've got a bit. You can bring the balls out. for the end game, and I was like, right, okay. He was like, yeah, and Peter the Test Tube Baby. Apparently, that was a band in the 70s.
I wouldn't know.
I didn't know that. So they went, yeah, you're bringing the balls out. We're gonna have the conga music playing, and you're gonna be dressed in a nappy. I went, what? They're like, yeah, Test Tube Baby. Ain't you? You've got to wear a nappy. You've got to hold a can of beer, a fake cigarette, and just bring the balls out for the fans to have a minute at the end. I was like, right, okay. And it was November at the time, so I'm like literally standing behind with a can of beer, fake cigarette, nipples like absolutely frozen like that. And he went, and it's Peter the Test Tube Baby. They put the conga music on, and I'd just come out like that. Big Derby, like flopping around like, whee! I was like, there you go, there's the balls and the conga back out. So that did that for like 2 or 3 years. And I was like,
how was that though? Someone who said the shy. How
it's just weird. Like, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, because my mum was like, I didn't think you'd be on telly, son. I didn't think you'd be dressed as a baby.
What did you give up university?
Everyone's like that. What are you doing? I was like, I don't really know. So it just carried on like that, and then Tim Lovejoy came to me and said, it's a bit boring now, isn't it? I was like, yeah, and a bit cold. Yeah. So he said, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. But I think there's something in you on television. I was like, is this guy all right? What's he talking about? And he said, no, you're gonna do one question only. It's totally up to you what you do. But you've got 3 lives basically. If you muck it up, that's it. So he told me this at the end of the season for next summer. Sorry, the start of the next season.
Yeah.
So I had it all summer. And I was just so nervous. Like, I'm going to go live onto television and do whatever I want and ask one question. I was like, what? I don't know what to do. So I was asking my mates. So like, yeah, ask. You know, they're just saying the silly things like, yeah, ask her how big her tits are. I was like, it's television. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't remember who the first question was. But I basically walked on, and I just went, so here's Tubes, because by that time they cut Peter the Test Tube Baby down to Tubes. They went, here's Tubes, and he's got his one question only. I just walked on. I'm shaking like that, like
long hair.
Yeah, sweating, long hair, massive sideburns, one bigger than the other. Looked like a state. And I just walked up to the football. I can't remember who it was for the life of me. But I went, do you score more on or off the pitch? And everyone was just silent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went, he went, on the pitch. I went, cool, all right, see ya. as I looked back to him, I was like, you got 2.
Oh, really?
Fucking hell.
So I was like, oh, everyone was like, oh, that was awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, don't really ask those sort of questions, really, because I was like, yeah, it wasn't the best, was it? So when I used to go to school, I used to go to school in like Surrey, which is quite posh. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
my rehabilitation's down there. It's it's very different to up north.
It's quite a nice area. So I used to go to school, and like loads of white boys will be like talking like they're from the streets.
Yeah.
And they're not. They live in big houses with their parents. So they'd be like, "You're right, Pete," and I'd be like, "Yeah, you're right." Why are you speaking like that for? They're like, they're like William from Cobham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What you saying, bruv? I was like, I'm doing fine, thank you. Yeah. So I thought, there's something in this. If the sort of not the white boy, the posh boy, so not posh, but quite well like brought up.
Yeah.
If I go on there and start speaking like that and trying to be a rapper, it might work, or it could end up like it was the last time I did it, and I'll be down to 1 life. So anyway, I just walked up there the second question, and I just went, "Oh, big yourself up, rude boy. You're coming on fresh, you know." And everyone just like pissed themselves. I was like, "Oh, that worked."
I'm onto
like,
something.
Yeah, and I was like, so that just carried on, and then I started trying to do raps and.
But were you naturally funny anyway with your mates? Were you a bit of a like class clown?
School,
or
at school. I was the one mucking around. I was the joker.
Yeah.
But put me in a room full of people that I didn't know.
Yeah.
In front of 4 cameras and it's
Yeah. Not even that. Like, when I was, you know, you're like 15, 16, start going to like parties.
Yeah.
We had like 3 schools in our area. But I'd be so nervous because I didn't know half the school. I would have a few beers, like, to calm the nerves. I was really shy. But if you put me in a classroom with all the people I know, then I'll be the joker. But yeah, I wouldn't expect. So I was trying to be a rapper. So it's crazy.
Yeah, we watched one on the way down.
Some of them are hilarious, aren't they?
Kevin Hart.
And Ice Cube, when they were together. Yeah, they played along. They were good.
You put yourself in a headlock, and it was just on the whole.
And I think that what we mentioned, the thing that's beautiful about that is, I imagine when people are promoting movies, there's like probably they rent out a hotel room. There's people from the Daily Telegraph rock up, various different news organisations keep coming in, but probably get 5-10 minutes with each of them.
Yeah.
In front of the cameras to obviously they promote the movie. And next minute you fucking rock up.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
And actually, to be fair, they said it broke the day up because
we asked the question, didn't we? That did you tell them that this was going to be a different interview, or did you just come in and just?
So it depends. The bigger the person, some of them would be like ridiculous, like because when I started doing it and then it got quite popular quite quick. They were like, have you seen what he's just done with Denzel Washington? You know what I mean, like Denzel Washington, like walked me through the Savoy Hotel with the head in a headlock, going, "Yeah, Tubes, don't fuck with me, Tubes." And I'm like, whoa. But some people would like cotton on, going, "What's he going to do with our client like this?" I mean, those people are looked after ridiculously.
Really,
like I once saw 3 grown men run out of a hotel room where they do the interviews, the junket, and I was like, shit, like what's happened? Like someone sort of, someone ill. Bruce Willis was hungry.
No way.
They're running out like, whoa. I was like, whoa. They're like, yeah, he's hungry. He
needs a McDonald's.
I'm like, come on.
No.
It's just a bloke. It's a human being. Like, why are you being like that? But they said to me, they came out once and said, oh yeah, hey Tubes, can you rap to No One? And then we'll bring him in to do the question. I was like, well, how am I going to, what do you mean? You want me to rap to No One so he won't be there? And then when he did it, he was brilliant. He was like, this is the best thing, man, because they literally sit in that room and have to answer the same question all day, but in a different way. Because one's going ITV, one's going BBC, one's going Sky Movies. Then I come in saying, who would you like to go on the lash with? They love it. So they used to put me in the middle of all these people to sort of break it up for them to have a bit of a laugh. So no, I used to love doing them.
And some of the names we were looking before, like Jennifer Aniston, my all-time, like I would marry in an instant. Like everyone, like Hugh Jackman, like
he was brilliant.
His was good. Yeah,
he was so good. She didn't really understand.
Yeah,
Jennifer Aniston. She was like, "What is this?" Like, but she was alongside the guy. I can't remember the actor. She was alongside.
I think it was. Was it Meet the Miller?
Yes.
Miller. That film when they're on the road trip and they smuggle.
What is it? Miller's. Yes.
Something Miller's.
Film,
yeah.
It's good.
It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? Denzel Washington was the best one. I think.
I just love about it. It was like the awkward silences, because you'd do it and then you wouldn't ask the question straight away.
Just stare like that.
And just and you can see that they're there, aren't they? Just going, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. What the hell is? Yeah, that's what. You just keep going with the silence, and then they've got that. You could see there are people behind going, what the fuck's this lunatic doing? Like,
what's the other thing? Yeah, have they got a lot of people watching?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've got all their
How
people.
You keep a straight face for that?
You just did it. And then if it was just thinking back at it, it was quite wrong. If it was a girl, I'd be like that. And she'd be like looking at me like, what is it? And I'll be doing it, going, what? This is great. Yeah. But then go into it. No, it was good fun. It was good fun.
It reminds me somewhat. Do you ever watch Trigger Happy TV with Dom Jolly?
Yes.
Like that sometimes the awkwardness.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's the awkwardness on both parts, but more on you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I mean, you've got to have balls to do that.
Yeah, but you've got to laugh at yourself, not on television, in life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Far too many people are too serious, and far too many people think because they're on TV, there's something special, and you have to. It's bollocks. You're not. It's just, you know what I mean. You're privileged to be doing a job like that, but people shouldn't act differently, whatever job they do. But if you have a laugh at yourself, people can relate to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So totally different in that sense, but I found that just with being so-called disabled, people kind of, when they meet you and stuff, that like, oh, can I say this or do that? And I just kind of, if I say a dinner or something, a black tie dinner, and everyone's quite serious looking all, and I just take the leg off straight away or something and say we'll be drinking out this at the end of the night or something, and just you should never take yourself too seriously in any
Totally.
life.
But like for like people, for you, for me, you're the legend. You know what you've done for our country and stuff. You know, not people like me, but people like you.
No, I appreciate you saying that, but it's just a job that you said again. You love your job. I loved my job. I didn't look at it as doing anything patriotic or heroic or nothing like that. It was just a job with all your mates, and it was a job I loved.
Yeah.
So, but I do appreciate you saying that.
No problem.
Yeah, we in fact slightly on the topic of sort of fame. We were having this conversation on the way down. We've had 4 hours, so we've had a lot of
Came down this morning, didn't you?
You know, in regards to, I had someone on my podcast on Monday, and who was saying she does a lot of talks in schools, and a lot of the kids were saying, firstly, like the first big question was, how do you get a blue tick next to your Instagram? And then second was, how do you become famous? Or, you know, when they ask the kids, what do you want to do? I want to become famous, want to be a YouTuber, want to be a vlogger or whatever. It's just a weird old world.
I agree. Totally agree.
But I guess what the kids are trying to aspire to is, if kind of like someone like yourself who now is recognised. And how did you kind of deal with that when? Because obviously by doing that every Saturday morning, you're making everyone laugh.
Yeah.
You've kind of got to that stage where people are now, the young kids are like, I want to be like Tubes. I want to be, you know.
I found it difficult. Because like I said, because I was doing that, like staring like Hollywood A-listers out. Everyone just assumed that I was just sort of like, woo, like,
Lad.
oh, he just walks down the street and like all the girls like, woo. But like I said, I was shy. So when I started first getting recognised, I was like, it was nice because everyone was nice to me. Like everyone was like, oh, yeah, I love your stuff. Like I never really gotten any bad stuff, but it was quite weird. And then I drink because I'm a season ticket at Chelsea. So I'd be like, right, I've got a few beers because I know people are going to recognise me, and then people would buy me beers, and it was like, it was great, but it was quite weird. But like I said, everyone was nice to me. But from going from like being, like I said, like the shy bloke, like the class clown, but wouldn't like, go to a load of parties because didn't know any people, to people in the street going, oi, test tube baby, where's your nappy? I'm like, go on, give us a rap, boy. Like one question, and I was like, this is bizarre, but no, it was good. But yeah, these days, like the kids of today, it's the YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah,
the YouTubers and stuff like that. Social media is massive.
It's sad, isn't it? Though, like I'm so glad I never had. I mean, you're just a couple of years older than me. I'm so glad I never had that in school, like Facebook and stuff like that in school. I don't think I got on it till late teens. But
no, I didn't know. I
couldn't imagine anything worse than that kind of, that anxiety of needing to check in at like 12, 13, 14. It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got a be like, I check.
Yeah.
I'm it's just a thing, like not all the time, but sometimes like
you feel your phone or
where's my phone? Where's my phone? Like, oh, Instagram. And I just find myself for like, if I'm sitting in an afternoon, just find myself looking for Instagram for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
It's easily done, isn't it?
Yeah, me and the missus just, sometimes you just think to yourself, you sat watching TV, but everyone's got the phone out. You know, we're watching TV in the evening time, and then suddenly you just pull your phone out, don't you?
Yeah.
Or even at restaurants, when you see a family of like a mum, dad, and 2 kids, whatever, and they're all sat around a restaurant with a fucking phone.
Yeah.
You just like, it's madness.
I got on a train the other day, and I looked around, and everyone was like,
yeah.
It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous as well, because you get trolls on there. And
yeah, and then I've talked about this before about, when you start comparing yourself as well, because now, there's, I've mentioned this before, but, there's, when you were a kid, you probably compared yourself to your best 6 mates. So, I don't know, Steve is good at football, I don't know, Alan's good at tennis, whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you've got 6 billion other people to compare yourself to.
It's like a popularity contest as well. Who's got more followers?
Yeah.
Who's got more? It's like, I've heard stories of kids deleting photos that they've uploaded because it didn't have enough likes in a certain amount of time, and they're embarrassed.
Serious?
It's
wow.
Yeah, and that's the kind of blue tick
great,
kind of generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where did that come about? Good 2-3 years ago. How long has it been going?
Which?
Just that sort of generation of the Instagram.
I think. Yeah, mate. Yeah, probably. I'd say a little bit longer than that.
Longer, yeah.
I'd say ever since I mean, Facebook came around probably 08, I think, or no, even earlier than that.
Was it?
Yeah.
I've never really done Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
But Twitter is brutal.
It can be, can't it?
Yeah. I've got myself in trouble a couple of times on it, and a couple of times I really regretted it. Like,
do you ever? Actually, on that point, do you ever think do you ever watch what you're saying? Like for me, look, Tom Wickstead, 300 followers. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Obviously, I wouldn't say something that I didn't want to say as such. But now I suppose you're employed by Sky and bits and pieces. Do you ever look back or read back on?
Do you know what? One thing that actually really did devastate me. It was about 6 years ago. It was I still look back at that morning and I'm just like, fucking idiot, what were you doing? It was I was doing this campaign for Carling. Quite ironic, really, being an alcoholic. But yeah, so I was doing this campaign for Carling, and it was proper. It was a bit shit.
Yeah.
But it was like, we'd pay you to do this, and so it was like send in your best bit of banter, or football banter. I can't remember what it was, but so one morning I woke up on Sunday. I'd been out the night before, and it was like, do you know what? I'm all right onto it. I don't get much abuse, but some people then this abuse started happening. And I was like, oh, I didn't realise you got abused like that. So they were saying this one group, like 2 or 3 people, would just do it every week. I think they do it to everyone. So I
the
thought
same people, or
the same people that would keep coming up, and they were like, "Oh, here's my banter. I hope you die, you fat fuck," and all that. So I was like, it was 6 years ago. I was quite new to Twitter, so I was just sort of like retweeting it and like replying, just going, "Yeah, nice one." Then they started saying, "I hope you die of AIDS."
Okay.
You spastic and all that, and I was like, you can call me fat, you can call me like whatever, but don't start. People actually do die.
Yeah.
And, to make out of spastic people, disabled people was disgusting like that. So there's a big argument going on, and it kept going on and on and on. So I was like, and then stupidly, someone put something about Hillsborough. Write a tweet about Hillsborough. So I didn't know back in the day the quote, you can quote tweet and then write a message on top. I was unaware of that. So I've retweeted that and then to reply to go get this scumbag off like that. I've retweeted it. And then all of a sudden all these messages come from like Liverpool fans going, "You fucking," and I was like,
was it your kind of
I've retweeted it and they've gone like, "You are a scum, you work on Sky, what are you retweeting this?" I was like, and I just, because obviously it's such a tragic event, and I was like, what have I done? Then I was trying to delete it and I was panicking, going, "No, I didn't mean it like that." I was like, what the fuck? And then it all just escalated, and I thought, why have I got involved with this? I've just retweeted and everyone was like, no, you look at the conversation history. That he's having an argument with these guys, he's trying to out them. But then as it got retweeted more,
it's just become worse and worse then, isn't it?
And then obviously the people in Liverpool have seen it and gone, and then they started getting on me, and I was like, oh, no, I didn't.
I didn't actually know that, and which is surprising because again in Liverpool we can be an unforgiving city in the sense we remember stuff, but I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, that was like 6 years ago, and that was the one time, and still I look back there now
and go, oof.
I'm like, what the fuck? Why didn't I just ignore these trolls? Because then people talk to people, and then go, "Yeah, did you hear what he retweeted that?" I was like, "No, but no way would I do something like that." I was having an argument with these idiots, and I was trying to out them. And then when they put that, I was trying to out them to go, right, get these people off Twitter. And I was like, and that. So since then, I've gone, do you know what?
It's not worth it.
No, I'm not getting involved because I feel obviously people think I've done that. It's so it's dangerous. It's dangerous, and
it's that thing. I mean, everything you've. It's been amazing how you've started off as a runner and you where you are now. Do you ever kind of wish that? Oh, actually, I could take it without the fame, or is it apart from the few little bits that you don't enjoy about it like that? Generally, is it you enjoy it as it is kind of the being noticed, if you like, and things like that? And
I
or
love
could you,
my job.
or could you be like, I don't want to be noticed anymore. I want to kind of.
I love my job, and if I choose to interview footballers, that stuff comes with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
do I like the fame? I don't go out looking for the fame. I'm quite shy about it. I don't love the attention, but I love my job, and I like when people say nice stuff like, "That was a really good interview." Oh, you got some stuff out of him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Or you guys were saying you made us laugh, and you used to. I
Yeah.
like that. I like people being nice to me, but
Yeah.
going out and getting in situations like Twitter wars and all that.
Yeah.
I've grown up a lot since then. I've realised plus I don't drink, so I'm less irrational of like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And going, oh well, fuck off and all that. It's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Childish.
But it's so easy to do that though, isn't it? When you see something, someone being negative or nasty or a bully on social media, it's so easy to just go, oh, fuck off, you prick. And but again, with your position, it's difficult to respond.
You've got to be careful. So that side of it. Do you know what? If I could do my job on television and not get recognised, it'd be perfect. Yeah. But I love my job.
Yeah.
And I am lucky because I've done so many cool things. Like played the first game at Wembley with the Soccer AM. Done loads of stuff which comes with the job.
Mate,
so
yeah.
I'm lucky,
as a kid growing up watching you on TV, I was thinking this is like so cool to be part of this and doing all that. I mean, yeah, it's been amazing what you've forged for yourself. It is amazing what you've done.
I appreciate it. And I have been lucky. All started from making cups of tea as well for 4 years. So I know I was lucky. But
we said, funny enough, again talking about doing the podcast, the whole idea was, 10 years since I've been blown up and I've met some really interesting people. And when I got asked Tom if he wanted to do it, the one thing I said was, what I've learned is do something, because you enjoy it, a passion. Anything I've tried to do in life because I thought this will make me a couple of quid, it's always failed miserably. But anything I've done and I've thought I really just enjoy this, I love it, it's actually worked out being successful. Yeah. And I guess it's like that, you're just doing it because you love doing it. You're in sport, you're in football, and actually it's worked out really well. Because
I love football, and I suppose I'm all right at asking questions. Do you know what I mean? So if you can't be a footballer, you might as well do the second thing.
And that asking questions thing, we was talking about this in the fact that like it's a skill asking correct questions and like interviewing. Yeah. Because you've got to listen, but then also think what the next question is. Like it is a skill. Do you know what I mean? Like not many think, you just go on there and ask some questions and be done with it. But
if you ask people of Twitter, they'll tell you something differently. They'll tell you it's like you just roll up.
Yeah.
No, it's I like to do it as a pub chat. So you go in there with a couple of notes. Yeah. So you've got 5 subjects
to roughly cover, and
don't go in with a piece of paper written down. Don't stop to look at questions. I think what we're doing here, we just chat, and you take it into an edit suite and pick the best bits. Yeah. I think for me, if you just go in there and just have a chat and know where you're going, and just react to what the person says, like we're doing here. Yeah, we're chatting and we're talking. That's what it should be like a pub chat. Yeah, not like okay. And it's the questions you ask as well. Every football manager talks about football and the game coming up. So, ask something different. Ask something about them, because they're just going to give you the bog standard robot. Big game, big game. 3 points needed. Like, respect. You've got to change.
Well, in many ways, it's like what you were doing years before, where you're going interviewing film.
But I'm just not rapping to it now. Exactly. I'm ripping me top off and going, wee.
But I mean, we just listened to the Jose Mourinho one, and you're saying, mates, Klopp, obviously respect him. It'd be a good night, you and him on a night out like that. It works. It just works so well, and I
appreciate you boys saying. Yeah. But your documentary, got to talk about that.
Well, that's how we met. Like, kind of got in touch, wasn't it? Yeah. That was.
That was superb, mate.
Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, it was. I just got someone came up to me and asked me if they wanted to make a documentary on me, and it was about me trying to break the 10k record. And when it was aired on ITV, it was a pretty big deal. Yeah, I thought for it to be on ITV was amazing, and thankfully, it got loads of positive feedback, and it was hopefully inspired and motivated people and led me to being in the green room with you as well.
But did you enjoy it? Or when they approached you, were you like, oh?
Yeah, it was good fun. And again, it's like I said before about the idea for the podcast. It was just about getting people I knew involved in it. So became good friends with Jamie Carragher. He come to visit me when I first got injured, so we jumped on board with it. My running coach was good mates with Ronnie O'Sullivan. He then jumped on board. I've got a mate who knows Tom Hardy. Then suddenly had his voiceover, and this documentary that was going to be,
That's cool.
you know, I thought
Big
it was
time.
going to be, you know, almost videoed on an iPhone, almost turned into this like
It was
massive
superb,
production,
wasn't
and it was done really well by the guy. He done a great job on it, and yeah, just the fact it was on ITV, it was cool, and just again, like you said, you know, it's nice to get the nice messages, people saying, "Wow, that was an amazing documentary," and it made me put on my trainers and go for a run.
Yeah.
That was the big thing for me.
And that's when, you know, I'm sitting here saying Twitter trolls. You know, that was my mistake to go down that route and answer back to those people. But that is the good thing about Twitter, because we've met through Twitter.
Yeah.
And people supporting and retweet this, retweet that. And a lot of people are aware of documentaries like you, like truly inspirational stories because of Twitter. So it's not.
It's
not
got
a bad
so many
thing all the
positives
time.
as well. Yeah.
You just get a couple of bellends on there.
Yeah.
That's
People
good, but that's
that
like
you
every.
shouldn't be arguing with, but
It's like every part of
yeah.
life, though. I guess that, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get that everywhere. I'm sure you're gonna get it on Twitter as well. But Mike, so going what you're saying about it being, it can be frustrating if you like things like that. The drinking side of things, you've said, you know, when you were 16, having a drink before you met new people and stuff.
Yeah.
As the kind of fame, if you like, came and stuff, and going the match, and again, I've got season ticket for Liverpool. I know what it's like. I have a few pints before the game and stuff. When did you start drinking more because of the kind of fame side of thing? And
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't blame it on that. I'd say I've got a very addictive personality, but the shyness and, you know, being on television. I mean, let's get this right though. There's a lot of people are a lot more famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'll get recognised when I go out. The people who are actually famous must be like, I don't know how they do it. Do you know what I mean?
I've honestly, it's photos or interrupting meals or,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, when you're
I
out and
get it
about.
every time. Like, you know, I get it at football matches. But yeah, the drinking was. I knew for a while.
how old are you when you?
I started drinking at maybe, what was it, 50, like we did 14, 15, we still have like a hooch, do you know what I mean, all that. Do you know what I mean? Remember those rascal drinks?
Yeah.
The sort of fizzy pop drinks. But I think when I started doing soccer, I was sort of like 18, 19. The drinking stepped up, even to the point where they did. I don't know if you guys remember. They did something on Soccer AM, like bar tubes from pubs.
Yes, I remember. I was going to ask you
You know
about
what
that.
I mean?
Tim Lovejoy said, didn't he?
Yeah, so they do like cardboard cutouts. They do a collage every week on the show of like my cardboard cutout in different pubs going barred. Do you know what I mean? And that was before I even talked about having a drink problem.
Yeah, I mean it's funny in that sense, but obviously there was a concern from
You know what I mean? Like,
the crew members.
Yeah, it wasn't really a concern really. It was like more of a like, he likes going out. Do you know what I mean? He loves his football, loves going to the football, loves drinking. It became a joke. So, in some ways, it was sort of encouragement to. Do you know what I mean?
Because you've got a character
Well,
to
yeah,
like go along with.
You're living up to it, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I was like really shy, and then that would, you know, be like bar chooser, and we're like, hey, it's good. Like, you're allowed in this pub. Like, I mean, no, have a free pint. And it just got worse and worse, and then I knew for a while I was addicted to it, because I'd have a pint, and you know when people go, oh, you can't just have one.
Yeah.
For me, it was I can't just have one. It was impossible. Like one, it'd be like, are you coming to the pub tonight? And it will, yes, but I will be drinking at least 7-8 pints. And then that, for a while, that was like that. Then it was like, I've got to the 8th pint, I need more. So the amount of lock-ins I'd get, they'd be like, oh, you're the guy from Soccer? Oh, yeah. Were you supposed to be barred from here? Like that. But then lock-ins. And then I was like, I can feel myself like, I'm addicted to this. I knew it, but I was like, I'm not going to admit it because I don't want to. Because my life was revolved around it. When I'd see the Chelsea the Chelsea fixture list, I'd be looking straight away like, Saturday game, yes, drink day. And the amount of relationships it's ruined with girls. My family were getting upset. But then my dad died. We took him in, he had a bit of an inflamed stomach. So I was like, we called the ambulance. Like, come on, Dad, we'll take you in. So I was in the back of the ambulance. He was all on the way there. He was like mucking around. He's a funny guy, my dad was, and he was just having a chat with the doctor in the back of the. It was all good. And they wheeled him like, "We'll be with you shortly, sir." And all of a sudden, he was like, "Oh, I feel bad. I feel like," and I'm just me and him sort of there. And all of a sudden, he's like, "What?" He's going. I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and I was like, "Come on, help! Someone help!" And they rushed him off into the back. And then, like an hour later, they were like, "Sorry, he's dead." I was like,
Fuck me.
Do you know what I mean? It hit me hard. I was like, wow. And then for like a year after that, I was okay with the drink, still binging, but looking after my mum and my brother. And after a year, it hit me, like, and drinking just became like, I was having panic attacks, like I had real massive downers, and the only thing I could think of was like, drink. And then it just got like to a point where, when you have a few days, like a good few days session, you get down, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Like really depressed and all. What should I do? I would never let myself get to that point.
So I
just keep going. So I do like 5 or 6 day benders.
Jesus.
And then stop. It's just an ongoing cycle. Then stop for 3 or 4 days, do my work. Everyone's like, great work. And I'd be so buzzing about everyone going, oh, your thing with Denzel Washington was the best. Drink again. And then you'd be like, down. Stop, work, and then 3 days again.
And was you managing to manage
At
work?
the start.
Yeah.
For a good few years, yeah. But then it was like, then I'd be going out Thursday night, and if I went out Thursday night, I'd buy for the morning. So then I'd wake up, bang, couple of vodkas.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Oof.
Try and get to a level where I wasn't going to get that panic attack, or basically there was a mess. I was trying to level it all out. And then sometimes the addiction would be too strong. I'd go down to the shop down the road, so I'd be editing, and I'd just be like, a little bit here, a little bit there, just trying to keep to a level. It was like I said to you before, it's hard work being an alcoholic. I was like, then the weekend would come again, you go again, but I'd wake up going like, what have I done?
I'm never drinking again.
Oh shit, and I'd be panicking back to it. Please, I hope I haven't done anything.
Yeah, just like, you can never remember, can you, what you've been up to?
Especially after going through all what I did. When I made that horrendous, I'd be like, what have I done? I would just panic about stuff like that. Then it made the newspapers, got into a couple of the silly papers. Tubes drunk on a train, Tubes arrested. I wasn't actually arrested, and then the boss saw it here. But the most important thing is my mum saw it, and she was like gutted, because people come up to her in the supermarket and go, "Oh, is Peter okay?" She's like, "Yeah, fine," because I wouldn't go around, I wouldn't take the Daily Mirror around and go, "Here, Mum, you've seen this. This is me getting arrested, whatever it's called, reprimanded." So I didn't tell her, but people in the shops would be like, "Is he okay?" She'd be like, yeah, fine. Like, oh, why'd you ask? Oh, we saw him in the newspaper. And she's lost her husband, do you know what I mean? And there's got her son acting like a complete swat. So it just got to a point where I just went, I need to stop for my, more importantly for my mum's well-being and, my family's, but I just couldn't do it anymore.
What you were saying before we started about the kind of hiding it from people, because again, I went through a phase of being like really badly gambling. Just, I think one day I spunk 10 grand in a day. Serious, yeah. Like compensation from getting injured, and just the gambling addiction was bad. And then when I remember it was Boxing Day, I think it was, and loads of football on again. I'm very similar to you in the mindset, just in the pub with the lads or going the game, and I am doing bets, and I think I'd done a treble. It was a 12 o'clock kickoff or something, and that went down. And then I thought I'd get it back for the 3 o'clock or something, and then, but I'm in the pub with my mates and drinking, and again, it's nothing's in like, everything's kind of hazy, isn't it? Because you've had a beer and it seems okay, and again with the online betting on the apps, and I'm putting like a 5 grand treble on, and we're getting beat 1-0 or something. Liverpool are getting beaten. Everyone's like pissed off, and I'm pissed off as well. But I'm pissed off because I've lost fucking 5 grand, and but you're not telling anyone. Like you're not saying to your mates, "Oh, you're like, oh yeah, I've lost 50 quid on these. They're fucking cunts that let me down, and,
Yeah.
and just massively hiding it from everyone. And I think for me anyway, that was the hardest thing, hiding it from people, and then actually getting to a point where I was like, no, I need to,
Yeah.
like, someone needs to help me as well.
Was there a certain thing that just went, right, I've got to tell people now I need to stop?
Yeah, I like speaking to my dad about it and stuff, and I never actually seeked any help. I probably should have professionally, but I think telling my dad and just wait again, the kind of thing you're saying, you wake up the next day and you look at what you, like, I woke up hungover thinking what did I do yesterday, then I'd look at my betting account and I'd just feel sick in the mornings, and
but then you get that thing where, like, I can go and get that back.
I can get it back. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was doing.
That
I'd be
addictive
feeling
personality.
like down.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, that's easy because there's 2 bottles of vodka there. Finish that, bang. You're
Why?
right.
Why vodka? Because you can hide the
Strong.
smell, or just because it's stronger. Yeah.
Does the job.
Yeah.
Like, basically.
Yeah,
that's
it
what
does.
was.
Yeah.
I was like, why have 7, 8 cans of beer when I can just neck that? I mean, it was like fucking hell. It was like you go down, the whole stomach would burn, but then you'd feel like, hey, I mean, you'd be like, great.
But it's so easily done, isn't it? I mean, it's, you can just see how that can just spiral so out of control.
Yeah.
Like,
my whole life was revolved for a good few years. Alcohol. So I'd be like, interview. So I'm not going out that night. That interview's in, say, Liverpool or Manchester. Right, Virgin do a good train because they've got loads of beers on there, so I can do the interview. Oh, I was so sad. I'd be like, right. So
Analysing it in your head.
Yeah, I can have 5 beers, 7, 8, maybe 8 beers on the train. Then I'll get back to London Euston, and the pub I know I'd know what kind of pub closed. I know which pub, like, where the off licenses were. I used to smoke, so I'd take deodorant on the train. So when I had a few beers, I needed a cigarette like that. I was going to be smoking on your train, so I'd go into the toilet with the deodorant. I would be like trying to blow it down the toilet, coming back up like the Virgin man
flushing
going,
it.
Please don't flush this down the time. And then I was like, deodorant. I'd open, you know, when you press the thing, it goes.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I'd
super
walk
slow.
back out, just like a smoke machine, like that, smelling like right guard, like that. Oh yeah, I'd be like, people are looking at that. All right, Tubes would be like, yeah, someone smoked in there. Mate. It's a mess. But
Stinking.
yeah, but then, you know, I'll come in, do the edit. People go, great interview, really excellent. Be like, brilliant, celebration time. So I'll be picking and choosing the times I could drink, and
that's what's most surprised me listening to you talk like that. How you kept it together for so long, before it got to that point where you were like, "Fuck, I need to sort my life out" type thing. How you managed to just keep it all together, work wise, this kind of personality of Tubes, and all. It's fucking astonishing how you managed to keep it going for so long.
it was hard work, but managed to do it because it was only going one way, and that wasn't a good way. So
Why do you think you've got an addictive personality?
good question. Don't know. Dad liked to scoop. Dad liked to drink. Dad smoked. I don't know. It's like when I find something I like, I've never touched drugs.
Do you think it's something to do with the TV, with the fact that you had this kind of job and everyone thought you were funny, and it was I'm guessing it's a big adrenaline rush, and it's that kind of, you kind of searching for that type thing, do you think? Was it, or?
It's a great point, that. I've never really thought about it like that. I just thought I'd just like bad stuff. I just think like I like things that you shouldn't like alcohol and cigarettes, and that's a really good point, Andy. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I only think because of myself. I think, you know, I had this job in the Marines. I fucking loved it, best job in the world. And then obviously I wasn't in it no more. And I had times where I was on my own. I was doing, and then I got into the speaking. That was great as well. And I'd come off stage doing this talk. Everyone's saying how fantastic you were. It was so inspirational and stuff. And I'm talking about my time in the Marines, which made me happy thinking about those times. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something might not have anything on. And it was like, well, there's horse racing on this afternoon, and obviously 20 quid wasn't giving me that thrill. So if I put 200 quid on, it was, and then that kind of turned. But I know for me it was that chasing, that kind of.
Why was it betting for you?
Well, again, I've drank again, similar to you, 16 on the park and stuff, but I've never took drugs. And I don't know, it was just, again, I think with drink, again, where I grew up, it was just everyone has a drink and watches the match and stuff, and so I always drank, but gambling was the one that just gave me that thrill.
Really,
It was, and again, it's okay to gamble in if you can afford to lose type thing, but it was when it was becoming again unmanageable, and I was like, I can't afford to do this, and I'm wasting money that I can't afford to lose, and just chasing that thrill of being bored. And again, it's so interesting listening to you speak, because of the things you're saying, I'm kind of like, when I used to come back off a talk, it was so great, I was on a high, but then like maybe the week after I didn't have a talk on, and you're like, well,
I need something.
Yeah, all my mates are still in the Marines, they're still doing their thing. And
it's a mad cycle. Like, if I did something well, I'd want to celebrate, and if I was bored, I'd do the same thing. So it all end up getting pissed.
Yeah.
But then it'd be the excitement I used to get, like you said, when you've done a talk and everyone's like, you know, what he's done for us, and he's telling us all about it, and everyone thinks you're like brilliant. That feeling you get, like, you just want to. I was like, it took me a good few years to get rid of that. Like, sometimes I'll have bits now, I'll be like, I want to drink, like, I'm so happy. Like, do you know what I mean? Back in the day, this 3 years ago, I'd do this podcast and I'd be like, brilliant, Jose Mourinho, brilliant. Then it would be like a 2-day bender.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm so excited.
Yeah. And you're celebrating that.
After this, would be like, that. How good was that? Yeah, great. Come on, pub. And then 3 days later, I forgot, like, how good it was, because I'd be so down.
Yeah.
And then trying to pick yourself up again.
Here's one for you. See if you felt like this as I did. So I was going on doing these motivational talks, but my life was in turmoil in the end. I was going through a breakup. I was fucking gambling too much, and again, my life was going down fucking the Swanee big time. But I'd be on stage putting this act on, and everyone's like, wow, what a guy, standing ovation.
Yeah.
And I'd get in the car and I'd fucking nearly be crying on the way home, going home to like a relationship that was breaking down. I was sleeping on my dad's couch, and I'm thinking everyone's going, wow, and they follow me up on social media. That's the best talk I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sitting there crying like a baby, thinking my life's fucking a shit state. And I felt guilty that I was being a fraud. I was thinking, these people think you're amazing, and actually, look at you, you're gambling too much, you're fucking doing this, you're doing that, and it didn't sit well.
Yeah, but that, for me, that proves what a nice bloke you are. For me, that proves that you're what you're doing to those people, you're giving them joy, but behind the scenes you're suffering. I see that as a quality.
Did you have that yourself?
Yeah, I would never. But because I think your circumstances are a bit different, because.
But you're bringing joy. People are coming up to you saying how good.
No, totally. I'm talking about. I was choosing to drink. Do you know what I mean? I was at the start. I was choosing to drink, and I could stop. I wasn't having a bad relationship. Do you know what I mean? It was the only relationships I was ruining was because of my ways of alcohol. But I know what you mean by that, yeah. But I would never let myself get to that, because I'd be drinking all the time.
Yeah.
So then when the reality came in and the big hit, it was like, well, you have to change your whole life now. Because like I said, I'd be like, if I felt down, I'd drink. If I was happy,
you drink.
I'd drink.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think alcohol has sort of knocked me back a good few years. Like, all my mates are now married with kids. But because when they were meeting their girlfriends, wives to be, I was, drinking vodka.
Yeah.
On a Sunday morning, trying to play football. I actually did all right playing football on it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, people were like, "Oh, good night last night, Tubes." I'd be like, "Yeah." When I knew it was literally before the game, I'd do a bottle of vodka.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was mad. It was madness. So I spent. So for me, it's ruined, a good few years of my life. But the last 2.5 years, like, how are you now? Are you back in a good place?
I am, yeah. But I was next going to ask, which is interesting, I think, is I still like having a gamble now, and I think I always will have a bet, but it's much more controlled now, and I guess you can. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I do silly bet, but it's definitely nowhere near the extremes as it was. But again, I guess you can't. You just don't touch.
I've not had a drink for 2.5 years.
Just because that'll be.
Because you could have 7 beers lined up on this table, and that wouldn't bother me. But if I took one of those drinks and had a sip, that'd be like, that's it.
How does that work though? With, again, it sounds like very, very similar lives in the sense of the football, your mates, you know, good person to be around, good laugh. How does that work with your life now? Going the match, you know, having loads of mates playing the Sunday League football. How the hell do you not touch a drop?
I tend to not go to a lot of things. Like, I play football, of course. I play the game. They're like, great game. And then I'll be like, oh, I really want to go to the pub. Then I think, no, let's not go to the pub. And now what I'm trying to train myself to do now, you know, 2.5 years on, is do more stuff. Because I was becoming a person who was like, play the game, see you later, boys. Like Chelsea, I'd drive to Chelsea now.
Yeah.
Park up, watch the game, get in the car, go back. And it was getting me a bit down. You know, when you were saying you were like, actually, because it's a little bit now since I've been sober, it got to a point I was like, I'm finding this quite difficult because everyone's got wife, kids, and then all the other mates are all going out on the lash, and I was like, I found it quite hard to like just sit at home and go. I bought myself a jacuzzi in my garden. It was because I just like, you know, I like massages as well because it gives you that sort of high of like feeling relaxed, and I drink coffee. Like, I'm thinking, I'm looking for ways, like, I need to be doing stuff, so I've taken up golf as well. So in the summer I'm always playing golf because I don't like sitting there doing nothing. Yeah. The half the drinking thing was boredom.
Yeah, same with the gambling, yeah. Totally, like,
do you know what I mean? It was like, because we do 10 months. You know, it's like school holidays. We do 10 months solid. So when you've gone for a job where you're like, you know, getting those highs all the time, like we're talking about, you know, Joe's interview like that, and then you get 2 months off. So I was like, how am I going to do 2 months in the summer with no alcohol? So I was like, I joined the gym, played golf. I was like, so I'm starting a YouTube channel soon. I was like, just trying to do work and fill my time, because you don't realise how much more time you have when you give up drinking. Because you think about it, Sunday afternoon, what are you doing? Super Sunday down the pub.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, I was a game on Champions League down the pub.
Yeah,
Saturday,
and the
day,
money.
Stamford Bridge, Saturday, all day. It's like...
And then Sunday's wasted because you're
and the next
knackered.
day, Monday, you're still hungover.
Yeah.
Or in my case, still pissed. On my own somewhere in a country pub, do you know what I mean? Listen to my iPod. In the corner, is that Tubes from Soccer End? Yeah, he's off his nut again. But it was like, you get so much more time.
How are your friends? Like, do they support? Obviously, I'm guessing your close friends support you. And
100%.
Yeah.
That's also the power of social media. I post on social media about alcohol and my progression, and what I found amazing is that I can help people. Like, through social media, people, like, hundreds of people, like, Tubes, I think I've got the symptoms you say, like what you do. I don't preach about it. I just say 2.5 years, 2 years, like, you know.
Yeah.
It is so inspirational, though, isn't it?
And, you know, I help people. I phone people up. I say, send me your number, and I'll phone you up. I'll chat with them. Because that makes me feel good that I can help someone else. And we've got similar things, like what you were saying about, you do a chat and then you'd be like, right, I want to do that with the betting. A lot of people suffer from it, and a lot of people talk about it. So the amount of people I spoke on the phone about, they're like, I do exactly what you used to do, what you're saying you used to do. So if I can help anyway, and I don't do it because I'm going, wow, look. Obviously you get your bellends on social media, go, oh yeah, well done you, what about other people who are, but now I don't reply to them because I don't want to get through a situation. But if you can help people, I do it. And I do it from a selfish point of view to keep me going. Because if I stopped posting, I'll be like, oh, no one cares, maybe I can just have a few drinks, see if I can drink normally. I can't drink normally, I know I can't. I've tried so many times. Like I was telling you before with the counsellor, just lied to him. I paid him lots of money to lie to, making everyone else feel better about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, about how when both Andy and you mentioned about how, you know, goodness me, I can't imagine if you're a singer or anything like that who's done like an arena tour and finished, and then I'm coming back originally, full circle to my original point, but you know, once you've been in front of thousands of people singing your heart out or whatever, that massive high, and then you come off and you're like, you'd want it. I certainly know I'd want to carry that on.
Oh, 100%. I'm like a footballer.
Yeah.
That's why so many footballers struggle, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, you play in front of 40,000, you're worshipped, or you break your leg, or, you know, something happens, or you retire.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy who used to play for, I remember he scored that goal back in, you know, like that. You've gone from thousands of people worshipping you, so it stops. You don't go training anymore.
Yeah.
You're not going down the pub with all the boys after work. It's like, there should be, you know, it's getting better now, but there should be stuff more to support people like that, in my opinion.
No, mate, I think it's massively inspirational, mate, what you're doing. I didn't even know you'd done that, which makes me like it even more. The fact you're helping other people by, you know, ringing them up and doing that, because I think for you to still live your life the way, the things you enjoy, the football, and I can't even imagine how hard it must be. And it's good to know that you are still doing the things you enjoy, going to chill. And it's because I'm imagining a lot of people would maybe take themselves out of that and say, I can't go there no more, because if I go there, I'm going to drink. Which would be sad to think that people have to give up things they really enjoy. So that it's so good to hear that you're still battling it, and you're going, you know what, no, I love Chelsea, I'm going to go and watch them, and having that battle, but winning it.
And so many things evolve around alcohol. I mean, look, we're recording this near Christmas parties, you know, football pretty much evolves around, you know, I think family do's evolve around, so it is difficult, I imagine, not like going down.
Yeah, it is. But
mate, I'll be ringing you up next year, climbing mountains with you and everything, if you're looking for new challenges, mate.
No, I'm definitely up for that. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, since Dad died, I've never been a massive fan of Christmas anyway, because I just remember my mum being upset around Christmas time. So I've never been, you know, like, hey, Christmas. I used to as a kid, obviously, but it's not. Everyone just gets boozed up. So for me, it's time to just chill. Yeah. And do podcasts with you legends.
Well, mate, moving on from that then, mate. So this year, wasn't it, as well? You had your own health scare.
Yeah. So I got myself healthy, admit I'm an alcoholic, lose 2.5 stone, and then 5 minutes away from death. I had a big hole in my heart in January, so coming up a year. Bizarre. Really bizarre. Was in really good shape, really enjoying life. In good shape, like everyone was like, "Oh, you look good, man." I was like, felt great. Kept going to the gym, had a personal trainer, played football on Sunday morning, and I felt a bit ropey for the previous 2 weeks. And they were like, the doctors were saying, "Did you see any signs of this?" And I was like, look back, and I was like, "Yeah, I did." I was at a point where I was doing 5k runs on the running machine. Now, it doesn't sound a lot, but for someone who was not that fit and obviously boozed all the time, doing 5k like every couple of days was good. It wasn't like I wasn't Mo Farah. I was like plodding along nicely. But for the previous 2 weeks, I couldn't get to 1 kilometre. My legs would just seize up. I was like, this is weird. So then I'd just go on the bike instead and do like 20k on that. But I played football on Sunday morning. It was the 27th of January, I think, was the day it happened. And my manager took me off. He was like, "Mate, you're playing shit." I was like, "I know, I can't move."
That was unusual. Normally you were...
Yeah, I'm all right at football. And my legs were like... I thought, this is weird, this. I felt... And I couldn't see a pass. So I'd get the ball and I'd be like... My vision was slow. Do you know what I mean? Everything was a bit slow. I was like, this is not right. So I got home, I went to the kitchen, and on the way back I was like, I've got indigestion. So like, I was in the kitchen trying to burp out a heart attack. I was like, this indigestion wouldn't go, and I was supposed to be going Chelsea. It was Chelsea playing Newcastle in the FA Cup. So I was like, I'm not going to go. I'm going to watch. It was on TV, so I'm going to watch it on TV. So luckily, I left football early. I didn't have a shower at football, so I got in and I was like, well, I'm muddy and dirty, and I had a tracksuit on like this actually, so obviously took it off, went in the shower, and as soon as the hot water hit me, I was like, whoa, felt dizzy, And like normally, when you have a hot shower, your knob gets bigger, doesn't it? If you're cold.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying I've got the biggest swipe, but it does get bigger.
Yeah.
So my dick shrunk. I was like, when I mean shrunk, as in like it was hardly there.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? So I looked down. I felt well ropey. Basically, I've got a fanny. It's gone. It's disappeared. I'm like, what? And I'm all like, my legs, and I just felt so like dizzy. So I've got out like, this is not indigestion. This never once thought I'm having a heart attack. I was like, this ain't right. So I put this tracksuit back on, and put the phone in my coat with my tracksuit top. And then I was walking downstairs, and my left arm just went zoom, like dead. I was like, this is starting to hurt as well. The indigestion. I was like, and then all of a sudden the right arm, vroom. I'm like, whoa.
Fuck, I'm scared just fucking
Mate,
listening to it.
I'm
man.
like that, sweating.
No, I was like, fuck. So literally I had no, like, my arms were all like, I couldn't, it was basically like that.
Paralysed, yeah.
I was like, and then I'm starting to sweat, panicking. No knob, no arms. Like I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And then luckily, this all went a bit numb. So I've gone over, sort of hit the sofa, and the phone's popped out, sort of like in front of me. Now I'm panicking. This is going. I'm like, fuck, this ain't right. So I managed to get to the phone, and my hands are sort of like floppy, but I could sort of got a bit of power in them. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit. So I don't know why, but I text my mum. Now my mum's
Not even ring, you text.
Do you know what I mean? But I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I did it.
Yeah.
Luckily I did. So I just text like, I've got the screenshot the thing if you need it, but I text mum, can you come round now if not feeling great? Thinking, and I text, and I was like, what have I done that? Because my mum's old school.
Mm.
So, oh, sorry, dear, I got this message from 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? It's like she doesn't speak like that, but she had the phone in her hand. So I text, pink, she's on the phone.
Fuck,
She's
how
come off
lucky
the
is
phone.
that?
Madness. She's got the phone in her hand. So I'm laying on the floor, and she's come straight through the door. Because we've had heart problems in the family. My dad's, obviously, bad stuff's happened to him. She's come running through the door, looked at me and gone,
This ain't right.
no, exactly. Ambulance. They were like literally around the corner. They've gone, like that. They've all come running in. And what's the thing they put on you? The
ECG, yeah.
That. And they're looking at all the readings. And I just heard one of them go, heart attack. And I'm sort of, and my mouth's all dry. And I'm starting to just like talk slow. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh God. I heard him say that, and then I was like, what? Backing straight into the ambulance. And there was this guy, the one drives, and there's one in the
there's
back.
someone in the back.
Someone's in the back. And I'll tell you what, this geezer was just spraying all this stuff in my face whilst telling me the shittest jokes. Like, he was just on me. I'm like, what? I'm like, look at my mum. I couldn't hardly speak like that, so I'm like that. Got no knob, no arm. And I'm looking at my mum, she's going, like, he's going anyway. Aren't we going fast? You all right there? I'm like, it's like some shit buttling. I'm like looking at him like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm obviously not well here. What are you doing? He's gone. And this time, like, I found out afterwards that he was doing it to annoy me, so I stayed awake.
Yeah.
Just keep you thinking.
It's a strategy they use. They just keep talking, so you're like, what? Like, so it was a strategy. So I'm planning on doing like some fundraisers. Maybe we should do it together and stuff.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to get involved.
We need to find him, and he's going to do the after dinner speaking afterwards because he's the shit. The gags were so bad. I want to say thanks to him, but yeah. So basically, just literally after he told me his stand up, they literally rushed me chucked me straight on this bed, ripped all my clothes off, and then they went through my arm. Oof. They blew it up like a balloon. It was the most pain. I didn't know what. But by the time they blew that up, it was like boom, agony. But do you know what I mean? They're literally like either that or you're dying, basically, because the heart's going bang, bang, it's like slapping me around here. I'm like, fucking, I was playing football 45 minutes ago, badly, but I was playing. I'd blown this up, come all the way through the arm, and just got the clot out. I had a big clot in the major artery, and they kept saying to me, "Have you taken cocaine? Have you taken cocaine? Have you taken cocaine?" I was like, "I've never touched cocaine in my life." People on Twitter again will tell you differently, but I've never touched cocaine in my life, and they're like, "You have to tell us. You have to tell us." I was like, I haven't taken cocaine. I was like, I've had an energy drink this morning because I was taking the powders, you know.
Right, yeah.
Powders I took it before football. They're like,
pre-workout stuff.
That's not going to give you a heart attack. They're like, last time, have you taken cocaine? Because this is not right for a 35-year-old. 36. I was 36 3 days before. Like, this is not right for 36. But then I did further tests and I found out I had a massive hole in my heart. So as I was doing all the exercise and stuff, getting my fit, it was getting caught on the flap hole and getting redirected, which obviously caused the clot. So
I don't know how you can talk about it. Makes
me
feel like
you seem like totally okay talking about like a near death experience. You know,
well, it's
happened,
isn't it? You've had your fucking leg blown off. You know what I mean?
I know, but I guess you've told the story a lot of times as well. But do you feel when you tell the story now, does it feel like it happened to you? Because I sometimes feel I've told the story that many times, I can kind of just reel it off, and I'm not actually in the moment. And you're just telling it. If I want to really tell a story and concentrate on it, I can put myself back there now. But a lot of the time when I tell it, I'm just telling the story what happened.
Yeah.
But
it's just like, it was just so bizarre and so like out of the blue that, you know, if it happened 3 years ago, they said you would have died on the spot.
Because of the drinking?
Yeah, because I probably would have just gone, I was in position, I'll go and have a bottle of vodka. I honestly would.
Yeah.
I honestly would have gone, well, it's Sunday, Chelsea are on the telly, I won't go. I'll have a couple of pick-me-ups, I used to call them, little vodkas.
That'll be good as rain.
And that would have probably numbed the pain a bit. And I probably would have gone down the pub and probably would have died. But because I was like, and then mind you, I wasn't that clever by just texting my mum, who never answered the phone, but I was lucky. But yeah, they went, if this happened 3 years ago, it's because you got yourself in a good shape.
Yeah.
That your body could attack it, because it was a massive clot.
Bloody hell.
So the heart was sort of trying to work.
So did they have to do an operation, did they? Or
yeah, they put a stent in on the day.
Yeah.
They put a stent in on the day. After they got rid of the clot, put a stent in, and then I had to go back like 2 or 3 times. One to close the hole, clamped it, which was an experience. They were like, because I've been in and out of hospital, they were like, right, not many people do this, but you can stay awake for this.
What, while they operated?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I went, all right, so
fuck that.
No, seriously.
Especially on your, not like an operation on your ankle or something, on your fucking heart.
Yeah. But I said, right, how long do I have to stay in if you numb me and put me out? They were like, another 6 hours. All right, I'm staying awake for this.
That is a man test and a half.
No, seriously though, it was so weird. They've got a big screen, you know, like Monday Night Football with Carragher and Neville. It was a massive screen like that. And they put this thing over my face. They were like, right, okay, we're going to go through your groin. So they were like, we're going to numb your groin area. I was like, all right. So I was a bit, don't get me wrong, I was shitting myself. I'm not giving it the big man. Like, I just wanted to go home. I wanted to start getting better again. They went, it shouldn't hurt. So they basically put a wire through there, and then they just pulled it all the way up. Yanked it all the way up so you could feel it in.
Oh,
and they were all just having a chat. They were all just going, yeah, what are you doing this weekend?
Like the ambulance guy.
Yeah, no, but yeah, he was just a shit comedian. These were just having a chat. They had a bit of Ed Sheeran playing in the background. I was just laying at that. I was like, this is so bizarre. And they were going, so if you look to your left, Peter, this is what we're doing. You could see the wire going up. Oh, and I could sort of feel
I'm more shocked that you wanted to see this.
I just wanted to get out, honestly, Andy. I was so like...
For the sake of 6 hours, mate, I could have just fucking hung on.
I've been in there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Like, if they said this absolutely, this canes, we'd recommend you going to sleep, I would have done it.
Yeah.
But they were like, it's it's a bit weird and it'd be a bit uncomfortable, but it's not painful. So I was like, go on then. It took 45 minutes.
And you were awake for it all?
They went, boom. Took it out. But when you go, oh, you could hardly feel it because it's a little thing. They just wrap it around and they just clamp it together. It does sound bad, but it wasn't that bad.
It sounds fucking horrible.
I hate this sort of stuff.
And then they just pull it all back out and you feel out the leg. You're like all right, all done.
Do you feel like when you get a catheter taken out and it's like,
it was just,
have you ever had
yeah.
What, I've had one of them put in a week. That was fucking horrible.
See, that sounds worse than that.
I don't know what worse. It wasn't a nice experience though.
I can't even have injections. I hate that sort of stuff, honestly. I don't know what it is.
I hate injections.
Start panicking before sweating.
Yeah. And do you know what?
It's a little prick. Bucking isn't a little prick.
It is. You're not. It's like, but when they put me in the machine, the MRI scan. Is that when they put you in the big tube?
Yeah.
That was. Some people, if they're claustrophobic, are
they
not
could be a
getting
bit
in that
daunting,
machine. Honestly, they went, and we've got to do your body. So you're going to go all the way in. I went, all right. So I said, so I'm going. Literally, I'm like that. I've just got you can't move. And my head's not out. My whole thing's in it. And they were like, "Are you going to be in there for an hour?" I'm like, "I'll do another operation on me or something. I don't want to go in there." So I was there for an hour like that. They're playing, just talking to me, going, "Breathe." And get me out. I was scared of that. I hated that. But
and since then, and such with everything's just been fine since.
Yeah. So hopefully in January. Well, this gets released in January, doesn't it? This
February.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully by then I'll be off the pills because I'm on like 12 pills a day now, which slow me down, which limit me. Basically, what it does is it slows down the heart rate.
Okay.
So if I'm going to the gym, I've got to work like twice as hard to get to lose weight.
Yeah.
That's why I've put on a bit of weight again since. But do you know what? I'll take that for being here. So hopefully by January, touch wood, I'm off the pills and I'm perfect.
Back to normal.
Which is credit to the NHS. Really.
Yeah. And then any sort of big plans in 2019 or any goals that you've set yourself for maybe the next year or two? Or
I want to help the NHS and the ward that helped me. So hopefully I'm going to do something with Chelsea players, ex-Chelsea players, do a game, a fundraiser or something, try and get some money for them. On a personal level, I'm launching a YouTube channel, which is mostly golf with footballers and celebrities, but fun. Like we filmed with JT, John Terry, a couple of months back. It's like a bucket challenge. So my brother's really good at golf. So me and John both get a minute with a big metal bucket. My brother's just chipping balls, and obviously it hits the bucket and bounces out. So you've got to try and get it in the bucket. So there's that, and there's the 4-hole challenge, where it's like a walk and talk about his career, and that's more of a sort of interview, if you like. And there's you, me, and a par 3 where you play a par 3. Whoever loses has to do a forfeit. So I've had Wayne Bridge walking off the green like a dog. I've been on top of a golf cart doing the floss while John Terry drives it. So hopefully it's just making golf fun. Do you know what I mean? So and obviously carry on with Soccer AM because I think Soccer Am's in a good place, and it's going to get better as well. So,
mate, on that note, getting it to football for a minute again, both big football fans. What was it like when, again, you started off as a runner, and now you're bringing up JT, no doubt, saying, "Can you do this help me with my YouTube channel?" It's similar to the kind of relationship I've got now with Father and Carragher. And it's like, Carragher come and knocked at my house when he heard I'd been blown up, and was like, "Yeah, mate, here's my number. Anything I can do for you, let me know." And since then, I go to the gym with him and catch up with him, and he just...
It's great, isn't it? That? I love... Just shows like what a nice person. Like out of nowhere. Like that's how I met John Terry.
Really? Yeah.
When Dad died.
Really? Yeah.
He knew that I was, because of through Soccer AM, he knew of me and he knew I was a Chelsea fan. So it was actually the day after Dad's funeral. Woke up, I was steaming, like still half cut, probably looking for a drink, but I thought, family around can't. Just got to try and found my phone as a massive long message from an unknown number. Hello, Tubes, it's JT, and I wrote along with, if you need anything. And I walked in, like, all of our family are massive Chelsea. Like, my mum and dad were the first people in the world to have their actual wedding reception on Stamford Bridge.
Really?
That's quite cool, yeah. And my dad's ashes are underneath the ground now, alongside Peter Osgood. So we're like big Chelsea fans. So I walked into the front room and showed him. Like, Mum was in tears. He was like, anything you want. So Mum was like, well, can we put Brian's ashes underneath Stamford Bridge? I was like, oh, fucking hell, this is Jonathan. This is one of my heroes. I was like, well, Mum said if she was like, yep, I'll sort that.
Fuck.
So we all went down, like, in our suits, Dad's ashes, and they dug us a little hole.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the
It's
same as
amazing.
Carragher going around your house when he's heard.
And I don't think, again, it sounds like the type of people that they don't do it for. It's the amount of things that I know Carragher does in Liverpool. And no one even knows. He just does it because, he's...
Because he's a nice man.
Yeah. So it's just amazing to be a fan, isn't it? And suddenly have a friendship relationship with them. It's proper. Sometimes you just think, this is fucking mad, or like...
It was crazy. Like, yesterday was like a reminder of how lucky I am. Like, so I've come out from Jose, who's actually sort of like, oh, I'll speak with him. He's all right. Even though in that interview he's still like pretty miserable. But he was after. He's like, good one. He's like smiling and that. So he mentioned Frank, didn't he? About Frank Lampard being the Chelsea manager. So I'm like, text Frank Lampard, and I just Jose reckons, and I was like, how lucky am I? I'm texting one of my heroes, like telling him what his gaffer said to him, and he's like, I'm one lucky bastard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, wow.
That's what football does, though, isn't it? That's why we love it.
Powerful.
It's so amazing. This time, I think 2 years ago, well, it was New Year's Eve, it was, and I went to gym, and Steven Gerrard used to go to my gym, and we were just working out next to each other, and I was starting to walk home. I used to get the train, and as he was coming out, he went, his mate was driving him, and he went, yeah, mate, do you want a lift? And I was like, it is actually easier for me to get the train, but I thought, fuck this.
I'm getting a lift.
So yeah, Gerrard gave me a lift home, and I remember just posting on social media, everyone's wishing each other Happy New Year, but fuck that, Steven Gerrard's just dropped me off after the gym. And it's just like an amazing thing, isn't it? But
that's class, isn't it?
Yeah.
And from someone looking on the outside, like, of that, I think we put these people on a pedestal, we put people on a pedestal, and especially people we look up to, and in real life, when you actually meet them, completely different, it's completely different, and just genuine nice people. And
I found that I got to do a motivational talk for the England team before the World Cup.
Did you?
Yeah, went down to St George's Park. I mean, that was one of the proudest, work-wise, that I've done, to get invited down, and it was fucking unreal to just spend 24 hours with them. That's brilliant. And again, the way the media kind of hound the England team, and actually, when I was with them, you just think just young lads who happen to be really good at football. And they didn't, they've worked hard all their lives to be good at football, and they're just normal people, like you said then. We all look up to them, but actually they're just young lads who, and when you're speaking to them one-on-one, and they're all so down to earth, so nice to speak to, and it was being a massive football fan, it was good to see that actually they are just normal, nice people.
They are, like you say. And again, with the social media and the newspapers, you only hear the bad stuff. Like, you don't hear about what Jamie Carragher does for charity.
No.
Stuff like that, because they don't sell papers.
No.
That's the problem. But if you make a mistake, it's going to get like, he's done this, and they do make mistakes. But they do loads of charity stuff as well, and they are nice people.
Yeah.
But it's the way of the world, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. It is.
Mate, with this coming out then in February, hopefully by then, Liverpool will still be top of the league.
Do you know what? If you carry on the way you're playing, there's every chance.
We should put a little thing in an envelope and seal it.
Yeah.
Put a tenner on. Nothing more than a tenner, though.
Yeah.
Do you think you can do it this year? Do you think you will do it this year? No?
I just think I sound like a victim saying this, but for me, the few times we've nearly won the league, was 2008, 2009, and it was that season when Ronaldo kind of broke on the scene properly for United, and it was no one had seen someone banging 40 or whatever it was. It was unreal. And we lost by 4 points, and you think, fuck, that was when we had a great team.
Yeah.
2013, 14, Gerrard slip. Fucking, that was heartbreaking. Just, will never ever happen again. You know, it was out. That could happen. And then this season, best team I've seen, but yet City, just the squad that they've got, and obviously he's a great manager. The squad depth.
Yeah.
And it's it just seems any time Liverpool get a good team and a good manager and they're in a good place, just something crazy seems to happen. Like that City team, it's never mind the greatest team in the Premier League. It's probably the greatest team ever assembled in the history of football.
Yeah. They're like the Barcelona, aren't they?
Yeah,
2012.
and that's the only thing that scares me, and it's that they've just got the.
You've got to go to their gaff, haven't you? Because they've been to Anfield.
Yeah,
already. 0-0, wasn't it?
Mahrez missed in the last
Penalty,
minute. Yeah. So we've got to go there. For January we go. But
When will that stop though? The Man City train. With
Unbelievable.
Because he's. Do you know what I mean?
he's
That Amazon Prime documentary,
That's
all in
brilliant,
all,
that.
unbelievable.
I'd like to see one with Klopp though.
No, they've tried, and Klopp said like no.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh, right, I didn't know that.
apparently, yeah. That's the kind
That
of
would
rumor
be
that
brilliant.
they've been really keen to do it, and he said nah, no chance.
Yeah,
I love that bloke.
Yeah, and
I love it.
to be able to, if you think about it, to manage, you know,
Are you Liverpool as well?
yeah,
Yeah.
to be, you know, that All or Nothing documentary with Amazon Prime, you know, from a managerial point of view, to be able to deal with the media as well, and the characters in the training room, you know, do you go hard on someone or not, or do you lay off them a bit? And you know, I think it's that sort of managerial like leadership is so hard to find,
Yeah.
and it came across so well in that documentary, I thought.
I think it was brilliant, but they didn't go in the change room, did they? When you boys absolutely tore them one in the Champions League.
No,
Now, for me, if you're gonna do
you've got to do warts and all. It's got to be the good and the bad.
that was when I went
Mm.
that's what I wanted to see. Like Klopp's come. No, was it Anfield, wasn't it?
We beat them away as well. We needed.
Yeah, but the first game, didn't you absolutely tear them? Wasn't it?
4-1 or 4-2,
Yeah,
I think, or
yeah.
something like that.
That's when I want to see the cameras in the changing room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know, and I was a bit disappointed that they didn't put that in there.
yeah.
But I thought it was brilliant.
yeah, and they've
And
done
if-
one on the All Blacks, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
a few.
But it
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
started from the American football,
American
didn't
football
it?
was the
Yeah,
first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant. And I'm
Yeah.
not a massive American
Well,
football fan.
I was massively cheering though Chelsea last week when. So
Against Man
obviously
City.
we're in December now. Yeah, when we're recording this, and that was done us a favour there.
I was there.
Was
I
you
was
there?
yeah.
Was you
I
expecting it? Was you all?
No. I love Chelsea. I'm not one of those negative fans, but I thought this City team are going to. They're better than they were last year, and they came and absolutely dominated us and won 1-0.
Mm.
And Kevin De Bruyne scored, and I was like, and for 43 minutes we didn't get a fucking kick,
Mm.
and then that little legend Kante's popped up and scored. And I was like, and the second half we were better. We were a better team. So they can be beaten, but
It's going to be tough, isn't it?
you know you got to be lucky to win.
Mm.
But
The only thing.
Liverpool at Stamford Bridge were decent. So
Yeah, I think if we can, if City concentrate more on the Champions League, I think that might be our chance to maybe focus more on the Premier. But listen, it's going to be our best chance.
but you're in the Champions League as well.
I know.
Mind you, it's a good place to be. We're in the Europa League, absolute dog shit that is.
Thursday night, Thursday,
I'm
Sundays.
sorry, I can't have that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big football fan. I've never heard of half the teams.
No,
we've got.
no, sorry.
I'm like, what's going on? But nah, still football.
But we'll see.
You got any more last points?
No,
to
mate.
make?
I mean, Jesus, this hour and a half flown by.
It's been an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hour and a half.
yeah, nearly. Yeah, 1 hour 36.
Oh mate, it's been.
Brilliant.
I knew it'd be a great chat, but it's been mate. I knew it'd be. Well, like I say, for the last 18 months, however, a couple of years we've been talking. I was always looking forward to meeting you, mate, and you've not disappointed.
Oh, thank you.
I
mate.
found you, mate, much more inspirational now, knowing the fucking battles that you've got on, that you've had and going through, and
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I think massively is inspirational to
Yeah.
know how you live in your life, and I'm just so happy to get to meet you, mate, and thanks so much for today. It's been brilliant, hasn't it?
Yeah,
No
certainly
problem.
has, mate. Yeah, really appreciate it. And
Right.
obviously, people can find you on. I'm sure people know where to find you in bits and pieces. Twitter.
The pub.
No, mate. mate. You're a star.
No,
Honestly, I
top
really do
guys.
appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
problem.
Thanks so much for listening to the Leg It podcast. Please remember to click the subscribe button so you'll be notified every single time a new episode is released. If you get a chance, leave a review as well, because that means a lot. And of course, share the podcast with everyone and anyone who you think might find it useful. And buy your book as well.
Go and buy the book. Thanks very much.